Daniel Negreanu is looking down on Jack 9 suited. He opens to $3,000 on the button, a classic small ball steal that also invites dominated jacks and queens to continue. Doyle Brunson flat calls in the small blind with Queen Jack suited, a smooth defend that keeps Negreanu's range wide and retains post-flop maneuverability.
Well, there's a lot of money out there, baby. A lot of money out there.
Gonna get you some.
Troy Wiggins completes in the big blind with pocket fours for set value, and the stage is set. Brunson, holding top pair with a strong kicker, declines to bet into two players on a coordinated texture because checking keeps Negreanu's bluffs alive and avoids building a pot where he could be outkicked or check raised by club draws. The paired board reduces semi-bluffs, and Doyle seizes the lead for $8,000. From his seat, Negreanu's flop check capped him toward medium strength and draws, so Doyle's stab is designed to extract from worse jacks and to tax the clubs and queen-10 type gutters. Negreanu calls rather than raise. The flat keeps the pot manageable against a range that still contains ace-jack or king-jack, keeps Doyle's bluffs and thin value hands firing, and leverages position to make the final decision with maximum information. This river is a sneaky upgrade for Negreanu to two pair, while a large chunk of Doyle's range remains one pair of jacks. Doyle checks, signaling showdown mode rather than a polarized line. Negreanu now turns the knobs. His hand cleanly targets Queen Jack and King Jack, while very rarely running into a slow-played full house on this sequence.
Biggest hand I've had.
Quick call.
Got Jack 9.
Tough river card for the legend. Doyle Brunson running very salty tonight.
Daniel Negreanu is about to play 6 deuce suited. Phil Hellmuth opens to 800 with King 10 offsuit, the kind of loose early raise he uses to test the waters and try to play pots post-flop. Negreanu immediately leans on it, re-raising to 3,600. With 6-2 suited, this is not about raw card strength. It is about punishing Phil's wide open, isolating the weakest range at the table, and taking the betting lead in position.
Who lost the last pot?
Doyle Brunson cold calls with pocket jacks, a classic trap that keeps worse hands in and avoids turning his medium-high pair into a bluff catcher against a 4-bet. Getting the price and curious to navigate post-flop, Phil comes along. That is a very Negreanu result. His pre-flop 3-bet range contains plenty of big queens, overpairs, and high card backdoors, so checking back keeps his range wide and ambiguous while realizing equity with his suited wheel trash. It also invites Phil to fire turns from out of position and forces Doyle to reveal how comfortable he is with jacks on a coordinated board. When Negreanu declines to c-bet, he preserves the option to attack later streets if either opponent betrays weakness with sizing or timing. The turn is the 4 of spades, a deceptively important card. It adds real backdoor flush pressure while also nudging straight grids like 3-6 into view. Phil leads 7,000 into about 19,000, a classic mid-sizing that tries to win the pot before the board becomes scarier. Against Daniel, that size usually reads as one pair or air rather than a queen or better that wants protection and volume. Daniel just calls. He is not chasing, he is keeping Phil's bluffs alive, protecting his own strong hands that would play this way, slow-played queens and some spade floats, and setting up maximum leverage on rivers that amp up the story. Doyle, now sandwiched in hating life with jacks, lets it go. The river is the 2 of spades, completing the backdoor spade flush and putting 4 to a wheel in the picture. It is a nightmare card for capped 1-pair holdings. Phil drops a 6,000 block bet, a telltale sizing that asks for a cheap showdown and implicitly admits he does not love his hand. Daniel pounces and raises to 46,000. What does he represent? From Phil's seat, it is coherent for Daniel to have exactly the hands his line preserved, 2 spades that checked flop multi-way, called the turn lead, and now raise for value, or a slow-played queen with a spade that upgrades from bluff catcher to thin value on a bet-blocked river.
Speech time. It's gotta come.
He might have like 6-9 offsuit. It's Daniel. Good bet.
And Phil lays it down.
Finally got there. Took a while, but
6-9.
I had you.
He nailed it. Look at that. That's sick.
That's not going to look good on TV.
Yeah, whatever that is, it's not gonna look good.
That's going to be bad for a profile, unfortunately.
Little do they know, Daniel did have the best hand.
I play so bad. I know Daniel's playing the rush and he's going to re-raise.
Yes, that was what I was doing.
I knew it.
The analysis post flop is not the time to get it right. You want to get that right during the hand.
You didn't have a
Queen
pair?
seven,
You couldn't call?
5, 4.
Imagine you made like a call with 2 3s.
Huh?
What are you doing betting 6,000?
That's when I'm supposed to pick off all the chips from him. When he
bet 6,000?
starts messing with me.
That's
and
if you have a like, if you
There you
have-
got dual smile.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket kings. Negreanu opens to 1,600 with pocket kings, exactly the kind of value raise that wants callers but still punishes dominated Broadway and suited connector opens. Phil lock flats with 6-4 suited, a speculative defend that plays best deep and multi-way. Wiggins comes along with Jack-9 offsuit. His call widens the pot with position and a hand that makes strong pairs and disguised 2-pair. Wiggins immediately stabs 2,200 into 5,800. From his seat, this is a natural protection bet. He wants to charge draws and prevent free cards to the overpairs that can counterfeit him later. Negreanu calls with kings. Raising folds out worse and funnels him into a range versus range fight on a coordinated board where he has only one blocker to the flush draw. The turn brings the 10 of clubs, tightening everything. It completes some straights and increases the number of combo draws that would continue. Wiggins slows down with a check. That makes sense. 2-pair on this texture can be fragile when the turn connects so neatly with the flop. He also gives Negreanu rope to bluff what looks like ace-king or miss diamonds. Negreanu bets 10,000. This is a disciplined value protection sizing. Kings are still ahead of the 1-pair portion of Wiggins's flop stab, and they deny equity to the diamond and gutter region, but the sizing is small enough to avoid isolating himself only versus straights and 2-pair.
Oh, Daniel, come
I'm thinking about maybe just doubling you up real good.
Ernest let out on the flop, then called the turn. Say what you will about the guy, but he hasn't been chasing a lot of draws, so Daniel has to know Ernest has a real hand.
I check.
2 pairs.
Yes.
Jack-9.
I knew it.
Favorite hand.
Worry about grinding.
Jack-9.
Poopy, poopy, poopy. I think it would have worked.
I mean, a real hefty bet, honestly. You know, I'm thinking like, I'm thinking maybe got an 8.
I had 2 kings, man.
Negreanu is holding pocket 5s and he's raising to 95,000. He's up against the legends Tom Dwan with pocket 9s and Phil Ivey with pocket 10s.
Over to Tom Dwan.
That's not a hand Dwan would fold, not against Daniel, and definitely not in a $250,000 buy-in. Tom looks like he's thinking, I'm pretty sure he shouldn't flat and trap, but rather crank up the pressure early.
Dwan has just made a call with pocket 9s. Perhaps at another time he might have raised. Oh, check this out. Phil Ivey's picked up pocket 10s.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty
he's
surprised.
Just called.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised by the flat call from Phil. It's usually a spot where you'd like to squeeze, especially the fact that he's on the button. It's going to look pretty fishy and quite possibly have someone play back at him.
Ike Haxton folds.
The flop comes 3 queen 6, 2 spades. Negreanu opened with pocket 5s, whiffed the flop completely, and now he's first to act on this board, with Dwan and Ivey behind him, who are not exactly known for playing nice when they smell weakness.
Misses all of them. A check from Daniel. This will be interesting.
I don't think any of the 3 of them are going to be too thrilled with that flop, to be honest. Queen's certainly in the calling range of Tom and Phil. Hands like King Queen, Ace Queen. I expect Phil will just check this back as well.
Phil does. We'll see a turn.
The turn is the 4 of clubs, and things are starting to line up for some sneaky draws. No one took a stab on the flop, which means this pot's still up for grabs, and Negreanu knows it.
And given the fact that he was a pre-flop aggressor, both players have checked back the flop.
He does take a stab.
Dwan isn't just thinking about his cards. He's scanning Daniel and Phil like he's picking up frequencies. These guys are playing poker on a different level. Every glance, every pause, every chip toss. There's a language here only the elite understand, and Dwan is fluent.
I think Tom is more than happy to peel one here with 9s. He's got to assume that Daniel's going to bet a queen on the flop there.
Now, he's got his eye on both Daniel and Phil, looking at across the table to both players, and he smooth calls here. So round to Phil Ivey, and this is a tough spot.
Even though he does have the best hand, it's probably correct to fold.
Yeah, well, Phil Ivey kind of stuck there. Tom Dwan now eyes only on Daniel Negreanu, and the river's a 2 of hearts.
And Daniel gets there.
Oh, Daniel checking. He's going to try and trap him. And look at this, it might work. Dwan reaching for chips.
I check.
Oh, wow, Tom Dwan checks. Daniel not happy.
I don't bet my friends. You know? I don't bet my friends.
Wow, Dwan's really relieved.
If Robbie Lou was a Disney princess, then her hand is the ugly villain. She is looking down on Jack 4 offsuit. And I have zero idea why she even played this hand. But she is about to call Garrett's raise of $3,000, so it's time to see the flop.
That was like one of his first TV appearances.
One of his first ones, yeah. That was like before he won all those tournaments. And
The cards that come on the flop are horrendous for Robbie, but they are semi-decent for Garrett, as he can even pull off the straight flush if the stars align. That's why he fires a bet of $2,500. He is charging Robbie a small price to see the pot, and also trying to keep some semblance of strength in her eyes.
Jack 4 with the Jack of clubs. Turn is A3, puts backdoor hearts down. And this is usually when Garrett will lay the hammer down with combo draws.
Now, it's very important to know that Garrett's stack is 8 times bigger than Robbie's. So him bluffing 10K on the turn is nothing too unusual. What happens next, though, is completely crazy, and it's the reason why Garrett accused Robbie of cheating, even though she later said many times it wasn't the case.
She's got 1 club and 1 heart, and wow, look at this. What is she thinking about here? Is she gonna raise it?
Confusion is the only thing that you can read on Garrett's face. He is still in a very good position with his draws, even though his equity fell to 53%. He could easily put her in a position where she needs to all in or fold. And with her hand, fold is what she must do. He takes his sweet time, so let me speed it up for you until the point where he does exactly what needs to be done, and 3-bets her for $129,000.
I think he's considering bet 3-betting, and yep, there's the all-in. There's the all-in. Garrett, like I said, he's just so experienced in bet patterns, bet sizing.
At this point, even the craziest maniac players I have seen would fold this hand. Robbie has Jack 4 and nothing on the board. Even if I am 100% tilted, I will fold this one too, but not her.
She calls?
I prefer once, but it's up to you. Yikes.
Oh my God. We'll go to the river. The river is a 9. And the river bricks out again.
oh my god! Oh my god!